Hi, it's Donna Joy Asher here, and I wanted to share something with you today. I was interviewing the amazing Chris Ducker the other day. Now, for those of you who know him, you know he's an amazing online businessman. For those of you who don't, you might have heard of Youpreneur and Virtual Staff Finder. They're just two of his businesses. So I was talking to him about when to hire VAs, like when you should hire a VA, how to hire VAs, things like that for the Life Coach Biz Summit. Now, if you haven't got your ticket for that, go get it now. Go to thelifecoachbizsummit.com. If you're watching this and it's after the 22nd to the 24th of February 2021, I will be making this content available evergreen. So go to my resources page at donnajoyasher.com/resources, and you'll be able to get all of the content from the Life Coach Biz Summit, which is basically about how to grow your online business online for any coaches or entrepreneurs. But aside from that, I was talking to Chris Ducker about how to hire VAs for the Life Coach Summit, and he came up with something he told me it's called the 3 Lists to Freedom exercise. So I want to share that with you now. So this is an exercise you do when you're working out whether or not you need to hire somebody, whether or not you need to outsource stuff, whether you need to start leveraging, but how to work out what to do, what to get rid of. So you get a piece of paper and you draw 2 lines down the page. So you've got 3 areas. And then in the first column, you write all the things in your business that you don't like doing. So these are the things that when you see them pop up in your diary, you get that like heavy sinking feeling inside. You find yourself procrastinating over, they get moved from day to day to day, and they're basically just making your life miserable, okay? So these are the things you don't like doing, you hate doing. The second thing you write are the things that you struggle with. So these are things that you don't necessarily hate, but you're not that good at. So maybe it's designing graphics, maybe it's editing video, something that you can do, but it may not be as good as if you had someone else do it, or you can do it to a great level, but it takes you far too much time. So I mean, if you're doing something that's taking you 10 hours to do, when you could hire somebody else for $100 and you just made your hourly rate that you're paying yourself $10 an hour, okay? So this write the second list of things that you struggle doing, and then the final list, the third list, write the things that you shouldn't be doing. So these are the things that more menial tasks that you shouldn't be doing, that are below your pay grade, that are taking you away from money-making activities. Sure, the things that need to be done within your business, but it shouldn't be you doing them. So write these 3 lists, and basically now you have a list of things that you can start outsourcing. So obviously the things that you shouldn't be doing and the things that you hate doing are probably the first things that you need to get rid of. So your first hire is probably going to be someone who is a bit more general. I mean, it depends on your business. Maybe you'll look at this list and you'll see that your first hire has to be someone very specific. So maybe if you do a lot of video in your business, you need to hire someone to do the editing of your video and maybe your podcast or something like that. Maybe that needs to be your first hire. Or you might do what I did, which is for my first hire, I realized social media was something that I was never going to do consistently. I hated being on there. I hated my time being on there. I resented it. I hated posting stuff, right? So my first hire was a VA to come and help me do the social media, to post stuff for me. So while I create the basis, the foundation of it, she takes it and does all this amazing stuff to it, and then she posts it all for me. So I create the original content and then she turns it into all this other stuff and she posts it. And then she does other things for me as well, messaging people, things like that, things that just sucked my soul dry, that I knew that if they had to be done to have success, I wasn't going to have success. And that wasn't going to not happen. So that meant that I had to get somebody else to do it. So have a think about your business and have a think about what you need. Maybe you need someone like me, maybe you need someone general. Your first hire will be someone general who maybe touches all different bases. Maybe you need someone specific. The thing is that as your business grows, you're going to need more specific people. You are going to need to bring in more specific people. So when you have someone who comes in generally first, who's sort of touching all bases, then they become the perfect person as your business grows to become sort of more into a management position where they're overseeing the people beneath you. So by bringing in someone generally like I have now, and we've been working for 2.5 years together and we've set our systems up together, when it comes time to start handing those systems off to different people, she will be the one that I'll put in charge of handling that, because she'll know all the systems we created. Or if we need to create a new system, we can do that together and then she'll be in charge of that. So you can see how this works. You don't want to be the person who is also, once you've got a big team, you don't want to be the person who is micromanaging your team. I mean, no one should be micromanaging a team anyway, right? But you don't want to be that person, definitely. You want to be the person who's got the person beneath them who's managing the team. And this is a great way to do it by bringing somebody in first that you work with quite closely and working out systems together and training. Then as you grow, they grow with you and they take on more and more tasks. Now, I know that getting an assistant can be quite overwhelming, firstly from a money point of view. So what you need to think about is, as I said, like, what will your hourly rate become when you're doing these things that you're not good at, or these things that you don't want to do? I mean, how much energy is doing things that you hate doing taking away from you? How much more productive would you be doing if all you were doing were the things that you love doing within your business that were making the money? You need to think about these things. And remember that just because we're online, it doesn't mean that we don't need to spend money in our business to make money. For some reason, when people come online, they think that they should be able to do everything for free. And really what they're doing is they're putting their own time in and they're not giving their own time any monetary value. Now, smart business people don't work that way. Just because we don't have the rent and the overheads of a traditional business doesn't mean that we don't also need to be spending money in a way that is going to allow us to leverage and grow our businesses. So you need to start thinking like a smart, successful business person now and putting the foundations in place that is going to free up the time and the energy for you to become that smart, successful business person. Now, the thought of getting a VA I know is a bit overwhelming from money. You can hire VAs from anywhere in the world. Now, I got my VA in the Philippines for many reasons. One, because that's who I used a company that I'll talk to you about in a minute to help me hire her, and they were based in the Philippines. Two, because their English is very good. Everyone in the Philippines speaks English as a language. So the English is very good. The typing is very good. So they have a very good grasp of the English language, which is very important if you are doing your business in English. Three, they're very loyal. They're very hardworking and they're very loyal and they take a lot of pride in their work. So as I said, I hired my first VA 2.5 years ago. We're still working together and I'm still really happy with her. And I got her through Virtual Staff Finder. So we'll put a link with this video to Virtual Staff Finder that you can go in and check them out. Virtual Staff Finder are based in the Philippines, and what they do for you is that they take all the hard work out of the hire and do most of the hard work for you, okay? So basically, instead of you having to write the ad and get out there and get all these different people and then sort and sift through and try and get down to the ones and then do all the interviews, they basically get it down to 3 best prospects for you to interview. And they do things like they have tests that they put them through where how fast can they type? What's their internet speed? Things like that we probably wouldn't be able to check and we wouldn't know to do it. They do all that sort of stuff for you. They'll also help you within the actual hire itself. The little nuances of hiring in the Philippines, what's to be expected, what they expect as well. So they'll help them that way so that you're not accidentally doing things that become offensive to your new virtual assistant. So as I said, I'll put the link with this video for Virtual Staff Finder for you. So if you do your 3 lists to freedom exercise, and go do that now, seriously, it's so much fun. It's so much fun thinking about the stuff that you hate doing and imagining somebody else coming and taking it off you and taking it. So do that list now and then start to work out what's your first hire going to be? How are they going to help you? And then by doing that 3 lists to freedom exercise, you're basically writing your job critique of what you want in your person, so that when you go and fill out the paperwork or you start to write up, if you're running an ad or anything like that, you know exactly what you want in your first hire. Okay, so I hope this has helped you. Do that 3 lists to freedom exercise, and I would love to hear from you if you have got a virtual assistant or you want to get one or you've got any more questions. Just reach out to me at Donna